Yes, people. Welcome to another Sarcasm City Sports Q&A on Sarcasm City TV, brought to you by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. And I'm not joined by Yan City or Ryan, but they both hopefully should be jumping on at a later date. But I'm joined by another Sarcasm City TV familiar. I did say you'll be seeing it more on the channel as well. Spurs fan, very talented. Make sure you subscribe to her channel. Eleanor is in the building on the Q&A. So first and foremost, Eleanor, how you doing? How is everything?
Oh, I'm good, especially after that. I think we're all on a bit of a high after that game.
Everyone's hype. Everyone's hype,
Everyone's
innit?
hype.
Innit?
Everyone's hype.
So,
Everyone's
all
so
right, let me
hype.
get straight to it then, innit? Is it coming home? I'm asking you the question.
It's obviously coming home. Like
All right,
it's
okay.
obviously coming
Obviously, yeah.
home. No, I mean
Obviously.
we haven't
Go on.
we haven't had a proper challenge, which is what like realistically we haven't had a proper challenge, and
Facts.
obviously like Italy are gonna be tough. Like
Yeah.
they they play some brilliant football. I mean, yesterday it didn't even feel like they had a great game. Like if
Mhm.
overall, I think Spain actually deserved the game, but over
True.
the tournament they've been brilliant. They've played some great stuff, so it's not going to be easy. But come on, I feel like it's just gonna happen. Like
Yeah.
I
Okay.
feel it.
Obviously, yeah. You said it with confidence. You know what I respect? You said that fully with full confidence because people hum and ha and be like, I don't know. But you said obviously it's coming home. Like I asked you a silly
Obviously,
question. So I respect that. But first and foremost, big up to everyone who's supporting Sarcasm City TV. Love to all the supporters in it, each and every one of you. We have gone over 3K. If you didn't know, people, we have now gone over 3,000 subscribers. It is road to 4K. Also, as well, the 3K party will be happening. So the live stream 3K Sarcasm City Sports Q&A will be happening. That party is going to be mad. I'm going to be very waved on it. You will see Eleanor on it. Everyone you see affiliated with the channel or the host or the people who jump on shows, you will see at various points on there. So large up to each and every one of you lot. Big up the Twitch gang as well. Make sure you follow and subscribe on Twitch. Roll to 100 followers on there. Links underneath in the description, and YouTube. Whether you're watching this live or watching this back, please make sure you hit the like button on the video. Make sure you do that. Make sure you share it across all the socials and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell because we literally go live every day. You don't want to miss it. Check out the upcoming live stream section. That is your TV guide. And if you haven't seen the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A, this is a show where you can ask us any questions. So any sport, past or present, get them off your chest in it. And if you see me saying it, bringing up the same names, it's because as part of the membership, your comment question will take priority like a super chat in it. But large up everyone in the chat as well. We'll just get to the comments here. Ravier says, smash up the likes like Kane did on the rebound for that pen to get England through to the final. Big up Sarcasm City every time. I like that analogy, Ravi. That's good. Abdallah's convinced. He says, Flawless is coming home, my brother. We'll see. Dan, who was on the live with us on the watch along, said, come on, England. And he says, come on, Eleanor. So he likes your energy and that. Ravi here saying, big up Flawless, like Ja Rule and Ashante, always on time with the shows. We out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Ravi also says, Eleanor, respect. And Nims9 says, what will the 3K party be like? What we should be expect. So the 3K party will be like this in regards to be a Q&A, but I'll be on here waved. So I would have been drinking probably beforehand. And then Yan City and Ryan will be with me. And then other people you will see drop in. So like Eleanor will drop in, Dan will drop in, Wayne, Carefree Lewis, Aaron, Saeed, all the people you know I'm affiliated with and all the regulars on the shows, Cam will be on at different points. Literally, that's what it is. And we're just gonna have a vibes, you know what I mean, and celebrate hitting 3K. That's what it's gonna be like. Abdallah says, nah, flawless, bro. If we cook Italy, I beg you get the Gaza trim. Not a chance. Not a chance. You get
he's
the
not
Gaza trim.
saying it.
Yeah,
Not
I'm not doing it. You get the Abdallah, you get the Gaza trim and that. You're gas. You're telling me it's coming home. You dye your hair. I ain't dyeing my hair blonde. Are you mad? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You
Rosa's
crazy.
already on the vibe.
Yeah. It's like pure. Yeah, you man are running jokes and that. I'm saying, oh, well, the live stream will be at least minimum like 3 hours. Minimum, it will be three
So
hours. We're just
many
trying
of
to
us
pattern the day.
watching.
Yeah, there's so many people like getting everyone to drop in and drop out. So it gives everyone ample chance to jump on. Definitely. But yeah, let's get to it. Obviously, I'll let you go further in depth on it, Eleanor. Thoughts on the game. Now we know it is England versus Italy in the final. Who do you have winning? Why? Give us your thoughts.
Like I just feel like right. This is what I always say about England and Tottenham. It's funny that I always have this analogy. Yeah, I feel like England are the Tottenham of international football because
I'm glad you said it.
you've got such good players. I mean, we can go back to the Beckham, Linekers, we're Shearers and we always fumble when it comes to the last hurdle. Like you get to semi-finals, we always have good teams. We get there, but then we bottle it, and it's just never gonna happen. But you've got good teams, so that's what I mean by like Tottenham. We've had some good teams,
True,
and
you have had some good teams,
fumbled
yes.
it. So like I do feel like it's always been like that. But I was like, come on, it has to be this time. Like you're not gonna get a better run to a Euros final. Like
No.
you've had such a good run. You've played. This was the hardest game, and then you've got a final. Like a final's a final. We all know anyone can win a final.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like it feels like it's got to happen because it's like the stars have aligned. But then again, I felt like that in 2019 at the Champions League final. So don't take my
Yeah.
word
That
for it.
analogy's fell down right there, innit? Because we all know what happened in that final. You lot didn't do what you're
So,
supposed to do, but we move. Liverpool.
but
Jeez.
we'll see. I mean, we've made the final now. That's a monumental moment in itself.
Facts.
When Kane stepped up for the pen, I was watching it with my dad, and I was like, "Oh, I'm nervous." And he goes, "It's Kane. It'll be fine." And then that was one of the most dreadful penalties I've actually seen him take.
Awful. It was an awful. It was an awful penalty. It was, and he's normally pretty. He's good from the spot. Yeah, it was not good.
Awful.
It wasn't
But
good.
then the rebound, but I was just it's been the adrenaline is still running, but it was great. And hopefully Sunday's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be, I don't know how I'm gonna get through it. It's gonna be a lot of drinks because I don't know how.
Yeah, drink beforehand, and people, please drink responsibly, and only if you're of age, people. Let me just get it out there. But yeah, drink beforehand. That's what it is to calm the nerves. I'm watching, like I said, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm hoping to see as much chaos as possible. If it goes to penalties, I'm all for that. If we see 2 or 3 red cards, I'm all for that. I just want that one watch along to be entertaining. Yeah, let's see. Why not? Let's see. 9 men in it. Let's do 9 versus 10. You know me, or 9 versus 8, whatever in it. Like I'm just trying to see chaos. For chaos just for my own entertainment in it. That's all I want to see.
I do feel like England, like Tottenham, are now and of old. So like I have too many attachments to players. Like I see Walker, I'm like, oh, he's such a good runner. And then I see Trippier, and I'm like, oh, my little ex-Slickham right back. And then
I get you.
Then you've got Kane, and I'm just like. And then it's like Grealish, what could have been if you actually came for 3 million that time? And it's like I just have too much attachment.
I get the attachment side because I'm happy for certain players who are there as well. Like I'm happy for certain players
like
who
Luke
are
Shaw.
on the pitch. Luke Shaw, Maguire, obviously Rashford's in the squad, and then Sterling because of all the criticism he gets. Grealish, I'm a fan of. Jadon Sancho, of course. So yeah, in that aspect, that is still there. But in regards outside of that, like the individual attachment, I'm just like, if we win, if England win, they win. If Italy win, I just want an entertaining game because some of these that watch along there was just a drag. It was a drag. Italy, Spain watch along wasn't actually the game was decent, but we were just running joke on the watch along. People go check that out. Absolutely hilarious watch along. Like France, Switzerland, for instance, that had everything. Had goals, momentum shifts, Switzerland going a goal up, France 3-1 up, 3-3, penalties, etc. Like the whole thing. Nims 9 here says this is a good question. Go to you for this, Eleanor. He says, do you think Saka should start in the final?
Starboy, that kid is brilliant. Like,
wow.
I think he's so good. Now, starting in the final is a big ask of obviously his age and
yeah.
But I just think he's such a good player. I think he's done so well. Maybe he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to start in the final. Like he could be on the bench and come on. But I personally think he's done such a positive impact. And sometimes when you do put on these youngsters, we know they give you everything. I know everyone gives you everything for their country anyway. But I do feel like the youngsters have more to prove as well. So he's clearly he's done it at Arsenal, and we all know what a shambles they're in.
I love that. See, this is why I like Eleanor in it. An enemy of my enemy is my friend. Arsenal shot, and it wasn't from me in it. But it's calm in it. And when you know what? When you slander Arsenal, you don't even have to stop to say it. Just keep the conversation moving along. It's all good. Yeah. We all know Arsenal are a shambles. We'll start there, and then you can carry on. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly. So Saka, he's done brilliantly there, and now I just think he's shone above and beyond what I expected him. Like I knew he was going to be a good player when I started seeing him, but he's done so well so quickly. So I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to him starting in the final. I don't see this. But we need to start Grealish. Like, if we're
Let's
not
go.
gonna start, yeah,
Let's go here. Go on.
Start Grealish. Or if you're not gonna start Saka, start Sancho, because I don't know what he's doing on the bench warmer. Like, I just don't get it. So yeah,
Southgate for you and that's what I was going to ask you, because everyone's, even though Pickford to me, and we'll get onto that, should have done better, but since it's the question about Saka, what would your front four be? So let's say obviously we know Pickford's going to be in goal, the back four, the two holding midfielders. Who are your two wide players? Who's your 10 and your 9? So if you could pick, this is Eleanor's 11. So I'm asking you what your front four would be. Obviously we'll do the full team later, but what's your front four for the final?
So
it's tough. It is.
It's tough. I would want Sancho on. I would want Grealish on.
Okay, so that's 2 out of 4.
Kane on, obviously.
There we go.
It's hard. It's hard, but yeah, I think. I don't know, because
Sterling's got to play though. You can't not play Sterling. That's your front four then. Your front four is my front four.
Put Sterling on, because the thing is, everyone gets onto Sterling, but they don't realize that when you need him to come up with that pace, there's that injection of pace that he could carry it. Today, I'm sorry, other than obviously a few misses and whatever, when he was carrying the ball, he was brilliant at running it forward today.
Facts.
I mean, he's always
even late on in the game. Sorry to cut you off. Like 100 minutes in, he's still dribbling 110 minutes. Still a threat. Yeah. Yes.
Who's got that energy in the extra time like that? Like he was, and you got and just generally in front of goal, you know, everyone fumbles, and it's like it's good to have Sterling there as well as Kane. They're two very experienced forwards that can just put it away. So I'm really, like I'm for Sterling. I feel like Sterling's catched a lot of strays, but he's been shutting them up in the Euros, and I'm really
love to see it. Love to see it.
And I think in general, he's caught a lot of problems, you know, racial problems and everything. Yeah. And like, it is brilliant. Like, it actually, I laugh at, you know, the people that are like that when he's just shutting them up by just doing it on the pitch, because he's such a nice guy. He doesn't attack anything in any kind of way. He just shows them off on the pitch. He's just so bossy. So yeah, just a little shout out to Sterling, because I know he's had he has had a tough time recently. So I'm really, really happy for him. So yeah, that would be my front four if we're gonna go experienced. But if we do play Saka, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, what you doing? I'm more just like, where is Grealish? Like, that's
I'm with you on that. I'm like, where's Grealish? Where's Sancho? And why am I not seeing a Grealish Sancho link up? That's what I'm for. Like, I'm for seeing that link up. Put the ballers with the ballers. I want to be entertained. Put Sancho with Grealish. Play Kane. Play Sterling. Your front four is my front four. How that isn't, because Mount today was not good. Against Ukraine, he wasn't good. He was higher than, he was doing a Bruno. He was higher than Kane. In the average position map, he was higher than Kane. And then people will get onto Kane. Well, he's doing a 10. He has to play the 10.
People get onto Kane. Who passes that ball to Saka better than Kane in that position? Like, I feel like Kane does drop back. And yes, Mourinho did get that out of him as a general thing. But he was doing it before. He would drop back and do these passes, and we're like, if only we had a Kane to be on the end of Kane's passes.
100%.
In England, we do have a Sterling, and you know, you have that. If Sancho does play, you need to play these players so they can be on the end of when Kane does drop deep. Facts. And Mount today was, like you say, he was further ahead, but he's not good doing that. Like, it's like you can't keep up.
No. So, you don't do that for, like, actually, I don't watch Chelsea enough. From what I've seen, obviously, Chelsea fans will let me know in the comments, he doesn't play like that. Like, he was how Bruno plays for us. Bruno does that a lot of the times for Manchester, whether it's Cavani, Martial in the 9, he'll be higher up, and your striker suffers from that. Because like you said, your 10 is supposed to provide for your 9. But if your 10 is higher than your 9, who's providing for your 9? Then you're expecting Phillips and Rice to do that. And that's not really their game from them areas. They're 2 6s. If you want to, they play 6, both of them. So that's what I would say. Stroll here saying it's 10 versus 11 when England have Pickford. To me, he was at fault for the goal. I will say that. To me, he has to do better. It was struck well from Damsgaard, but me personally, when it went in, I said, good goal. But anytime there's a free kick from that distance, or it's 25, 30 yards out, and it's not in the corner, you shouldn't be beaten. Unless and if it goes top corner and someone bends it over the wall, and it goes top corner, hold your hands up and say, that's just a quality free kick. If it goes the keeper side, or it goes down the middle of the goal, you should save that. Considering he did get a hand to it as well. That was my thoughts on it. What do you think
The
about
thing
it?
is, with Pickford in general, other than the save, his distribution was terrible today. It's like he
Oh,
was
yeah, he
doing
was
his
awful.
best Lloris impression. I don't know what was going on.
His head
Like,
was gone. His head was gone. After the mistake, I mean, after the free kick, his head was gone. It was gone.
honestly, I mean, I get that, you know, everyone will say it was a good free kick. Yeah, it was,
Huh.
but he made it a lot easier for them. And then, like you say, his head was gone. He was not in it. I was like, what is this constant mistake? Like, it was actually quite lucky to the point of like what that, you know, we were able to sort it out so we didn't concede more. But
Yeah.
yeah, Pickford needs to chill. Like, I mean, I saw Southgate saying calm down. I mean, I know it's all
Yeah.
he wants to do, but like just relax.
But that's Pickford, because you know what? In his defense, in his defense, he has been good in this tournament up until today. He has been good, because I think he's a mistake working to happen. Bits and Bobs is here. Shout out my guy Bits and Bobs. He's saying Italy. He said Hope Immobile dives and wins a pen. I don't want to hear anything. Here's the thing though about that. There was the foul on Kane. I think that was more of a penalty than the Sterling one. So to me, that's just balanced itself out. Go on, Eleanor.
Honestly, by the way, how lucky did we get with that pen? Like,
It was soft. It was very soft.
But yeah, I felt the Kane one. Yeah, he kicked him first, but he was coming down. So I do think the Kane one was more of a foul. I was sitting there thinking, I think Kane got unlucky there, and then with the Sterling one, I was like, we got lucky. So like you say, for me, it did balance out as well, because I said the exact same thing. If I actually think my live comment was we got unlucky and then we got lucky, it kind of balanced out.
There you go. It balanced itself out. It did. Bits and Bobs is not having it. He said more like COVID coming home. He also said Afro and Caribbeans carrying England. I hear that, man, in it, but that's a whole other thing. Like, Sterling has been England's best player. I don't see how anyone can say different, but we move.
And Sterling, he makes it known where he's from. He reps it.
Yeah, 100%. You got to rep. 100%.
I love that. Like,
yeah, rep your set.
You know what I mean? Like, he says where he's from. Like, I love that.
Yeah, 100%. You have to rep your set. Let me get to some more of the comments. If I miss your comment, people, I do apologize. Continue to get your questions in, though. It doesn't have to be on the Euros or the final. Any sport, past or present, ask us any question. Like, this is your chance to get your questions in and get answers. Abdallah is saying, nah, Walker was actually good today, but Money, Mace, Shillings in that second half were poor. Walker wouldn't say he was good, but he wasn't bad. Yeah, Mount shouldn't start. To me, that's the one position I look at and go, how is Grealish not playing ahead of Mason Mount? He's a better 10, I'm sorry. And that's not me criticizing Mount, because I think Mount's decent, but Grealish is that X factor.
Brilliantly for Chelsea. I don't think he gels with this in this England team.
He doesn't.
I feel like this England team is it doesn't fit his gameplay. I feel like we need that injection of attack, because we don't attack a lot. Yeah. So I do feel like we need that injection of it. And I know we just like to play safe. That's why he's playing Mount, because it's safer than having to play Grealish. But everyone knows how I like my football. Everyone knows my issues.
Talk about it. Everyone might not know, innit? How do you like your football? Talk to us. And Ellen is a Spurs fan, for those that don't know.
Yeah, a Spurs fan that was very happy to see the end of Jose. So I'm very against the negative football. I hate the whole, we want to win. You don't have to pick one or the other. You don't have to pick negative football to win.
Valid.
And I feel like generally we get, everyone says to me, well, you didn't win anything playing pretty football. Okay, just because it didn't work once doesn't mean it can't work for anyone else. So I like to enjoy watching football. If I'm not winning and I'm also hating what I'm watching,
it makes it worse. Yes. Yes. At least on the Poch, because I'm a massive Poch fan. At least, you didn't win, but at least it was entertaining.
This is where
yeah. This is why we get on in it. We both like Poch. We both hate Arsenal because we're just decent human beings. So yeah, that is why we get on, like 100%. Like, and that is, people act like you have to play ugly football to be successful. Like, no, there's a mix of the two. No. You're not supposed to play attractive attacking football all the time. There's a time and a place. And there's each game on a game by game, but your first thought to me should be, all right, how do we make the opposition worry about us if you're the better team?
Why do I have to always be scared of you? Make you be scared of me. Like you're
Yes.
coming to my I'm sorry, we played Chelsea and had one Son's first touch in the 87th minute. Like, why am I scared to play you in my own ground for a derby? Like this is what I'm saying. So like today, like why do we want to go safe? Why are we playing Mount? Because we're too scared to actually play an attacking player in Grealish, one of the brilliant generational talents, in my opinion. One of the better players in the league, like in general, because if you look at what he was dealing with, and he still shone through. I hate this whole playing safe thing. Like it genuinely bothers me. So we know what he's doing there, but I just feel like I want to bring the game to you. I'm not scared of you. Like I don't want to be like, oh, we can't go forward because we're giving them too much respect. Like take a game to these teams.
Facts.
Like we've got good, like we said, we've got a good attack.
The attack is there. Yes.
If you play Sancho, you play Grealish, you've got Kane and Sterling. What is going on with the what? Like, I don't know. Individually, that front four is incredible. So I just
incredible, and we've not seen it, and we've been robbed of it. I feel like I've been robbed as a neutral. Like I want to play the man that we want to see. Grealish, Sancho, Sterling, Kane works. I don't even like the 2DM thing too tough in that, because to me you can play a Jude Bellingham there. You know what I'm saying? You don't need this whole 2-6s thing because it's a thing now in football. It's not needed. If you're, like I said, you talked about team, you always being worried about teams and make teams worried about you. That's how I look at it. Like, yes, make teams worried about you, especially if you have the better team, and especially if you're top heavy. England are top heavy. So if they were bottom heavy, then I'd understand in terms of being defensive, because you don't have the attack, and you have to do what Portugal did in the last Euros in terms of they had Ronaldo and that was it. So they played defensive, pragmatic football because you don't have the ballers. He has the ballers.
This is what I was saying about Tottenham all season. Like, this is what I'm saying.
We have the ballers. You do have the ballers, yes.
We have our strengths lie in attack. Why am I sitting in defense with defenders like Toby Alderweireld and Eric Dyer? Like what? Like I just don't understand. It's like you're a mistake waiting to happen. Like you want that mistake. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. 100%.
Why are we okay with doing that? I just don't get it.
Yeah, it's all wild. And Bigger Owen in the chat as well, he says Henderson has to start versus Italy. You can't really start a goalkeeper for the first time in a final. 100%. Bear in mind, Pickford, his first bad game was today. Am I a fan of Pickford? Absolutely not. But you have to keep. They've got to a final. They've conceded 1 goal. You have to play Pickford. The back four pretty much has to say the same. You probably got to play the 2, really, depending on how you set up. But England better be very careful against Jorginho, Verratti, Locatelli in that midfield. 100%. I see that. Big up to Wayne in the chat. Larger my guy Wayne. Yeah, Wayne, don't worry about the other stuff either. He says, big up my G, flawless and beautiful. Eleanor is coming home. Larger Wayne every time. Big up. Damien here is saying shameless settings for every England fan tonight. We all know Southgate is a negative coach. Says, oh, that is true. Oh, and yes, he is a negative coach.
Scared. When we were linked, I was scared. And don't even get me started on who we've got, because
get started on it. What's this? Go on, get started on it. What's going on? This is the place to get started in that. Go on, what's going on?
Got Nuno. Hi.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got Nuno. Yeah. We're gonna get into that. Hold that thought. We definitely gonna get into it, because I'm sure someone's gonna ask a Spurs related question, because we don't normally have Spurs. Yeah, on a regular. I think you're like the only regular Spurs fan we have on the channel. So it's like people will ask questions, and you'll bring the Spurs fans with you as well. CM1 London says, flawless, he doesn't do that for Chelsea. He gets involved a lot more. He was dead today. That's my point. That lets me know that's Tuchel. Tuchel's telling him to play a certain way, whereas Southgate is giving Mount that free role. To me, you play Grealish in there. Even Wayne was saying it, and he was saying on the watch along, Mount playing awful this tournament. That is a fact. You know what I'm saying? He's not been playing well. Even in the 4-0 against Ukraine. Damien here is also saying Italy will smoke these, man. If it goes to pens, England win. No team wins consecutive shootouts. It's a weird stat. Is that true? Has no team won consecutive shootouts? Really? In one tournament?
I learned that yesterday with the pens, when the Spain Italy went to pens. They were like, oh, no team has won consecutive shootouts. So like Spain winning their last one, they still didn't do it.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that means Italy gonna win if it goes to pens then. Damien says Eleanor is an absolute legend. It's a shame she's a Spurs fan. Big up you guys. Oh, London lot, that's
Same for me
decent.
too. It's a shame for me too.
It's peak. I'm a United fan. Trust me, I know it's peak. It's peak. Flawless Spain would have destroyed England. You wouldn't have the ball, and Jordi Alba would have packed Sterling up. That's if Sterling's on the right hand side. Sterling would have probably played on the left. But we will see. JB saying, big up Eleanor. Haven't seen you in a while.
I'm here now.
She's here now, people. She's here now. JB says it's coming home. Big up to NB, man. He says, big up Flawless. Hope you're Gucci, my bro. Not seen you on here in a while, but I'm blessed. Hope you bless NB. Get me. Big up the Twitch gang as well. Man like Bajan B says, hey, big up to you. Where else we at? We go, Ellen again. Hella compliments in the chat and that. You lot be wilding. You know what I'm saying? Nippin says, Poch is to Flawless what Graham Potter is to Ryan. That's not the case. I just respect what Poch did, and he was the perfect fit to me for the team that we have. Like, people get mistaken when I talk about Poch. Does he have black marks on his record? To me, absolutely. But that doesn't stop me rating him, because any manager you pick has some form of black mark. There's no such thing as a perfect manager. It doesn't exist. Here's the thing. Should he have won a trophy with Spurs and the team he had? Yes, whether it's a League Cup, a FA Cup, etc. But that doesn't take away what he did for Spurs. He elevated them as a club. And this is why I say this all the time. He elevated them as a club. When he goes there, they're not seen as a top four side. They're seen as a side who are attempting to get into the top four. This is what I'm saying. This is why me and Eleanor get on. He's seen as a, what's it called? As a top four, side. You know what I'm saying? They're not seen as that. They're challenging. Now, when he leaves, and the expectation whilst he's there is for them to finish in the top four. Should they have done better in the title race? Yes. But like I said, all managers have black marks, but he elevated them as a club. The expectation when Poch is there is, yes, Spurs should finish in the top four. That's never happened before in the history of the Premier League. So he's elevated them. He did the same at Southampton. He took Southampton from a team battling relegation to a solid mid-table club. He took them to what Crystal Palace are under Roy Hodgson. So that's elevating clubs. So I'm looking at that. He's elevated Southampton. He's elevated Spurs. Imagine what he could do. Imagine what he could do with Manchester United's resources. You know what I'm saying? And Manchester United's players, and how he could elevate them. That's my point on it. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what I was thinking.
No, totally.
That's what it was.
Just to add
go on.
to that, I just want to say, like, this is why I was catching hella strays and everyone was like, you just need a trophy. And I was like, yeah, cool, we do need a trophy. I'm not denying that. But a League Cup is not going to elevate the club the same way as the consistent Champions League that Poch brought. One League Cup is not going to overshadow the job that Poch did. People are like, but it's a trophy. If you don't understand what Poch did at Spurs, then that's on you. But Poch changed like you said, the whole expectation of the club. The whole expectation, and that is elevation for future. Getting into Europe's top flight year after year, spending hardly anything. I mean, zero for 2 windows.
See, handicapped. Man's managing handicapped and is still getting results. Yes, a trophy is nice, and that's short term, but you want to mix it with long term. Like I said, he's elevated the 2 clubs previously. So I'm looking at it like, go on, Eleanor.
He made mistakes, like you said, he did make mistakes, and there's no denying that. He didn't mix the two, didn't give us the short-term success as well. But when you look at the bigger picture, he did so much, and now all we've done since sacking him is find that it's very difficult to replace him. Like, literally, that's all we're trying to do is now find the next Poch. Like, it's like we're on the hunt. We tried to replace Poch with Poch. Like, we actually tried it. Like, guys, like, come on. Like, you have to realize.
And that's it. Try to replace Poch with Poch.
I'm not lying. He's magic. Like, he's my Argentinian father for life. Like, I love him. I
get that.
I just love him.
I get it. I'm a big fan. And like I said, the fact that he got sacked and then went on to a bigger club in terms of PSG lets you know all you need to know. When a manager gets sacked and either goes to a club of the same level or a club bigger and striving for more than what PSG are, that tells you all you need to know. When managers get sacked, where they go tell you all you need to know. Like, if you look at, we'll use Graham Potter as an example.
Highly rated.
Highly rated, yeah. And he deserves his chance. I said this about PSG. PSG, we're going to find out how good he is and see if me and Eleanor could be wrong on it. We legit could be wrong on him. Yeah. I've said if he doesn't succeed at PSG, I was wrong on him. But I expect him to exceed there. And now he's building his team. He's brought in Donnarumma. He's brought in Ramos. He's brought in Hakimi. He's brought in Wijnaldum. So he's going to play a back 3. Now we get to see what he's like with money. he's putting together his dream team, 100%.
He wanted some of these players at Spurs, which he was told no, which it's going to be pretty like interesting to see how it goes. But yeah, I do think Poch's job, yes, it was tainted by not winning something, but it's also not, people don't see what he did as a whole, and I just feel like that's what it is. Like he just from the outside looking in, you don't realize why we love him so much, because yeah, he didn't get that with silverware, but I never expected Champions League. I never went into the season before Poch thinking I'm going to finish fourth. Like
I get what you're saying, yeah.
Like it's like unheard of. Like one time under Harry Redknapp, we're throwing ice buckets on him.
I fully understand that.
Do you know what I mean? So I do feel like now we're just trying to reach that same height with whoever we get, and obviously we've got Nuno now. We'll get on to that. But
yeah, we are going to get into that, defo.
So we are
100%. And MB here says, I'm trying to progress with my life, fam. You understand better than most, and it's still all love regarding the channel. LOL, don't watch nothing. Yeah, man, I know it's all love, yo, man. Handle business, I am me. Hear me? Handle business, you know where I'm at if you need, man, innit? You know what I'm saying? So big up to NB all the time, innit? One of the GOAT mods out here. Dante says, yes, flawless and Eleanor, let's go. Everyone is gassed. JB says, Italy will be a very tough game, but it's awesome. If England can beat them, we will find out. And we'll get onto it. You know what I'm saying? Nippin here says, Eleanor, how long are you willing to give Nuno? It's a great question.
Okay, well, this is the thing. My thing on Nuno is, right, if anyone knew me on Twitter, not last season before, I used to tweet, I want to play the football Wolves do. I want to emulate Wolves. I want to be, because they were playing this attacking football, very entertaining to watch, and were always playing that high line, outscoring teams, like trying to with the team that they had. It was great. I mean, we're watching Traore, like a rugby player, run down the wing and score like hella, like with his bangers. So I loved it. Like I actually wanted Nuno at the time when Poch was sacked. So funny enough, because people think that now I'm really angry about it, because
you're breaking up, Eleanor. There we go. You back? Yeah, you're broken up there.
Oh,
there we go.
Sorry. Because this season tainted my image on him, I was very angry with the appointment, because he went to this defensive 3 at the back football. Like I mean, it just wasn't it. Like the Spurs Wolves game where we drew 1-1 or they beat us 1-0. I can't even remember. It was honestly a shocking season. That was the most boring game I'd ever seen in my life. And I was just like, well, we literally just replaced Jose with Jose 2.0. But I'm hoping that from what we've heard is that our DOF, he really liked him and he wanted him, Fabio. Sorry, I got his name wrong. He really wanted him to be at Juve when he was Juve's DOF.
Okay. I did hear this actually. Yeah, I did hear this.
Yeah, he wanted him at Juve, and that was because of his, past with his past jobs before Wolves. And he was playing a really high line. And we know when he first came into Wolves, that's what he did. So he really wanted him, and he was trying to get him at Juve. They didn't get him. And then obviously when Spurs got him as our DOF, our budget is obviously certainly small. So he's like, oh, why don't we go get Nuno? Because I've wanted him before. Now, apparently we have made some talks that he will be playing the type of football he used to play. So if he is going to go back to that, really good attacking football where it's actually quite entertaining, that's the Tottenham DNA, by the way, before people want to chat about it.
DNA.
Honestly,
all that stuff.
That I'm happy to give him time. I just don't want it to revert straight back to a negative football. At the moment, I'm not expecting much from Tottenham. We've got no ambition as a club. Our owners have got zero ambition. We're down bad. But all I want is just to enjoy watching my team play. Like I was bored. It was like watching paint dry.
You sound like me. Just entertain me, please. Anything.
I was just so bored last season. So I just want to enjoy it. Like all I can ask for is just to feel a connection with my club and enjoy it, because the connection was gone. When you don't like a manager, I'm sure you feel that.
Yes, I can relate. Yes.
Yeah, you're just I'm not in it. Like the connection was just not there. Like I felt like I wasn't watching my club because it was nothing like my club.
Facts.
So I just want to feel a connection with my team, and
I understand
just
that.
feel like
Fully understand.
if he's just gonna bring that connection back and just play some good football, I'm willing to give him time. I just don't want it to be a thing of it's toxic and everything. But he doesn't seem toxic. He seems like he does want to play that sort of football. So hopefully.
Yeah. I hear that. And big up to Drizzy Des here. He says, "Oh my goodness, who's the princess on the screen? She is beautiful. Bring her on more on the channel." That's Eleanor Drizzy Des. Known her for a while. She's been on the channel previously. Spurs fan. I'll let you respond to this, Eleanor. Thought it was a nice compliment, so that's why I pulled it up still. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, thanks for the compliment.
He's a regular as well, Drizzy.
I will be on the channel more, so don't worry. I'm gonna have a Spurs show. If you care to listen to me ramble about Spurs, that will be coming. And yeah, I'll be around. I'll be around a lot more. I'm just basically gonna get the links of Flawless and just jump on whenever.
Yeah, we'll definitely pattern that. 100%. We'll sort it out. 100%. Where else we are? Oh, big up Gov as well. The super chat. He said, "Eleanor, reckon we can get Kunde?"
Problem is, I've heard that we are worried about the finances. So the minute that comes up, it's not gonna happen. The thing is, I reckon we can get him. We do have the money. Are they willing to spend it? That's a different story. That's what bothers me, is that we're never willing to spend the money. Like they're just they're just not gonna. We are run like a property development company. I'm fed up of supporting a property development company. Brilliant stadium, lovely stadium, but what about the football? Like,
yes, the football is the most important thing. Yes, what about the football? Yes,
what about the football? You don't care about the football. So yeah, I've literally said, like, I am done supporting a property development company. I will not be like investing in anything Tottenham through them, because I just think that this is the problem here. If we can get him, don't be fooled about, we don't have money. We ain't spent in how long? COVID ain't affected us. We never spend.
You didn't spend before. You didn't spend 2020 BC, 2020 before Corona. Never mind afterwards. Yeah. You see 2020 BC in it. Yeah. 2020 BC in that before Corona, and now it's 2020 AC after, and you're still not spending money. I understand that.
Honestly, so yeah, they'll milk this Corona thing just so we don't, so we don't spend, and also why we waited so long to get a manager, so we don't spend as much. But hopefully they prove me wrong. Every year I say this, and I always hope. So yeah, hopefully.
There we go.
And yes, sorry, there's a comment here that says Nuno attracts a lot of Portuguese players. Yeah, I'm expecting the Portuguese national team without Ronaldo.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm saying they got some ballers in that. Let's see what they get. 100%.
Because I want him.
That's it.
And yeah.
But big up Gov for the super chat as well. And like I said, people, if you see me going to the same names or super chats, it's because when you remember, your comment question takes priority like a super chat. So I'm not ignoring. Link for the membership is underneath in the description. It's just one of the perks. Big up to NB, who is a member. He says, "Flawless and Eleanor, who are both of your players of the tournament regarding the Euro so far, and no English bias, from any team." One, I don't have any English bias. But if we talk about, I'll let Eleanor answer first. But yeah, go on, Eleanor. I'll let you answer that first.
Do you know what? I know I've been. People always get onto me when I say this, but I really like Jorginho as a player.
See, this is why we get on in that, because that's one who stuck out to me. Go on.
Yeah, I feel like when he's played, I've genuinely thought, you know what? I knew I liked that player, but he's done so well in the Euros. I just feel like he's come on and he's taken that role. I mean, not only just for the Penny Estate. Generally, I've been saying how much I like Jorginho as a player, and I think throughout the whole Euros, I just think he's shone through. So I really know it just doesn't sound like a mad player. It's not your standout player, but you know when you just notice someone, and from that game when they played Turkey, I noticed him just generally just playing well. So for me, it's Jorginho.
Yeah, Jorginho defo stands out. That was mine because I just like DMs like that. Like that's the position I play when I play 11 side. So I respect how hard that is to do.
So well with our
100%. We have a lot of similar thought patterns. We both struggle with our manager. We both like Poch. We both hate Arsenal, which is numero uno. You know what I'm saying? Because we just decent, normal human beings. So 100%. But yeah, Jorginho sticks out definitely as one of the standout players in the tournament. Sterling as well. Let's keep it real. He's been involved. I think there's one open play goal for England that he hasn't been involved with. I think it's one. Even today, it's like if he's not on the end of that, the Danish centre back doesn't put that in the goal. The Danish centre back doesn't put that in the goal if he's not there. So he's a part of that. You know what I'm saying? Even in the second, especially extra time, driving at players, and he won the penalty. And before that, scored all the goals in the group games. Hear me? Scored the first goal against Germany. It has been Sterling, and he's been given a platform where he's not even at his best to succeed. You're playing under Southgate. You're playing Mount in a 10 who's giving you nothing. So it's a wrap. That's kind of like what it is. It's absolute wrap. So yeah, I would say Jorginho, Sterling. Who else? I thought Pogba was good for 3 out of 4 games he played. So I thought he was good against Germany. He was poor against Hungary. He was good against Portugal. And then he was good against Switzerland as well. So he's like my honorable mention. But it's been more, I've been saying this about this tournament. It's more team-based. That's what I've said. More teams have stood out than actual individuals. Like England as a team stood out.
How teams have been managed have also stood out. You know, the way Southgate brought it back before, like, you know, things like that have really changed it. So yeah, I think it's really team-based, really manager-based on their subs. I mean, like yesterday with the penalties, some very questionable subs being made before the pens, and then like that then changes the outcome. So I do think it, like we say, it's a team in this tournament, especially one of the biggest team efforts and manager efforts, I think, just to make the right decisions and stuff, especially in this Euros, because everyone's done a really good job for like every team in the knockouts, especially if put up a good fight nearly. So I think it's fine margins.
Very fine margins. Very fine margins. Landry, everyone, Damien here is saying more Eleanor is what the world needs. Yo, Eleanor with the fire will be fired with the Spurs show. See that? I told you these look like you and that. Told you.
We're here. I'm actually really excited. I love it.
Yeah, we're gonna pattern that. We're gonna sort it out, definitely. Another question from Nippin. He says, Eleanor, would you take Ruben Neves?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you take Ruben Neves? That's a good question.
Do you know what? I feel like we need some reliable bench players, and not as a starter, but as someone on the bench that we can turn to. I don't think he's that bad. I think it can be, you know, it's not great, but it won't. I don't think it's not great at all. But I think that as someone with our squad depth,
he fits the depth. Bear with me 1 second, Eleanor. Got to add in as well. She's here. Yan City is in the building. You should have told me that. I was thinking, why didn't you click yourself in? I thought you were busy.
I was just like,
you just hide. That's what that is. But we move. Yeah, go on, Eleanor. Carry on talking about Ruben Neves.
Yeah, no, I just think as someone that we can just, you know, have there chilling. It can't be bad considering how bad our squad is. So just have someone there as a little chilling person. Get them with Nuno.
Squad player, 100%. Nah, I hear that. Yeah. That makes sense. But we'll go to you, Yan City, because obviously we haven't got your thoughts on it. Obviously, England are through to the Euro. So what was your thoughts on the game? What you seen of it, etc.? I don't know if you was watching or not.
I was watching.
Okay.
And then just some madness happened. So.
All right. How long did you see?
Well, put it this way, I watched extra time with the police. So yeah, it was long. But I saw like 60 something minutes, and then I didn't see anything again until probably the penalty. I didn't even see obviously the challenge or dive or whatever you want to call it. I didn't see that, but I saw Harry Kane put it in. Well, I saw the celebration, and then obviously they show the replay. So yeah, and then I saw the last little bit after that. So I missed probably
I tell you this now, you didn't miss anything. You didn't miss nothing. I'm telling you, you missed absolutely. That's why I asked you, what did you watch it up to? You didn't miss anything. Like, we was on the watch along, like, yo, please end. Like, half an hour more of this, like, no, please end. I was like, life is too short. It was bad. Like, because Denmark were bright up until they made their 3 changes, and then they took off the kid who scored the goal, Damsgaard, and then they had that Paulson up front who was awful. He is awful, and it was just, they had nothing. Like, from the 70-minute onwards up until the end of extra time, Denmark offered nothing. Did they even put one of the big centre backs up like a Vestergaard and just go long to him or something? Awful they were. It really was. It was awful. Yeah, man, you man calling it Greg's football, you know. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it was a dive. I think that's a bit much. He was smart. He initiated contact.
Yeah.
I'd blame him. If that's me, I'm blaming my defender.
Yeah,
Why are you rushing in the box like that?
I didn't see that. I just saw everyone say that he dived. Because obviously people always at me saying Sterling's a cheat. Like some Liverpool fan was like at him. I'm like, you support Salah. Like Salah, that's a dive. Like he dives consistently. Like, and the thing is, people always get onto Sterling for diving, but Sterling probably dives once every 25 games. Like it's not like he dives consistently. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just one of them things, isn't it? Like players go down probably too easily, but that is what VAR is there for. VAR is there to overrule when a player goes down too easily. So you can blame the player if it's a blatant dive, but from what people are saying, there was some contact there. So it's like if there's contact, you can't blame the player. The only person you can blame is the defender or VAR in that situation. If it's a bit soft, then you blame VAR. But there's a picture and it shows that he's got his knee on the back of his knee. So it's he has contact there. And that's what VAR's seen. And that's why VAR's given it.
I said it on the watch along. That's my defenders.
Soft, but you can't say the cheat, he's diving, is this, that, and the other. If there's contact there, it's not. No. It doesn't make any sense. So
that's my defender's fault. Go on, Eleanor.
What's funny is that they will all say that that's it's clever when Mourinho's your coach. When Mourinho's your coach, it's that's clever. That's clever play. That's clever football. Like you got to be smart on the pitch. That's all. It's all fine when Mourinho's your coach, but yet when someone else is, it's you're diving.
Yeah, 100%. And even Drizzy does it saying the air flawless allow is clear Sterling is a beat at Rashford with the diving work. No. The thing is, if that's me, I'm blaming my defenders. You know what's gonna happen. Don't give the ref and VAR a chance. He's in the box. He couldn't really shoot from that angle. He can't really cross, defend. Why are you rushing in when you know if I'm the England manager, if I'm Southgate and Sterling doesn't go down, I'm like, why didn't you go down? That's on the defenders. You have to be smart. You have to be clever. Drizzy does. You support France. That's Mbappe in that situation and he doesn't go down, you are going to kick off. I'm a United fan. If that's Rashford, because you mentioned him, in that situation and he doesn't go down in the semi-final, I'm kicking off. I say that all the times. Like when I'm watching football on TV and someone gets clipped in the box, go down. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying on the edge of the box, go down.
People saying he's a City player. That's why I'm saying I didn't see it. I've seen, because I thought it was a dive. I actually tweeted, I don't like diving. And loads of people added me with the picture saying actually it wasn't a dive, there was contact. So it is what it is, isn't it? Like VAR, like we know VAR is dodgy. So I'm not going to say that VAR would have got it right regardless. But there's a reason why it was given. Do you know what I mean? So it's just one of them things. I think you're always at a danger when you're a centre-back or any sort of defender or any player really. You know, we've seen Gabby give away a penalty. So it's like, do you know what I mean? These things can happen if there's any contact. 9 out of 10 strikers in this day and age are going down. There's some that don't. Like we've seen Aguero. Aguero used to jump over everything. Even the goal that won us the league in 2012, he should have gone down. That was a clear foul. That's silly. But he didn't. He jumped over it and he put the ball in the back of the net, and we won the league. Had he gone down, maybe we get a penalty. Maybe we miss it under that pressure and then we don't win the league, you know? So it's like, but what I saw of Aguero is he never went down, and the amount of stuff that he never got, he had to start going down, because if you don't go down, you don't get anything.
That's the point. Yes. If refs will give him penalties when you stay on your feet, more players stay on their feet, like it's the dark arts. And people are talking about if it's the opposition, but that's how football works. If United are playing City and Sterling does that, of course I'm screwing because it's against my team. But if Rashford does that against City, I'm like, go down. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yes, make sure you go down. But MB's asked the question. He says, Jan, I think Ferran Torres will do well next season. But as a City fan, what do you think he can bring next season?
I love Ferran Torres.
That wasn't the question in that. You said, what do you think he can bring? We didn't say, can you love him? You know what I'm saying? What can he bring next season? Not to your heart, to the football pitch, Jan. Come on, get it together. You know what I'm saying? You talk about loving.
I think it's interesting because he actually came out during this Euros and he said that he started as a winger. He came to City as a winger. He's kind of like, I think he's supposed to be our Leroy Sané replacement. He came, he's good on the wing, but he said that like Pep's kind of developing him more into like a false nine. Yeah. So I think that when we inevitably don't get Kane, because that's what's going to happen, when we don't get Kane, I think we'll end up with a false nine, and I think he could be that false nine for us. Because I don't think City signed a striker. I think the striker that we would have got was Andre Silva, and he's gone to Leipzig. So I don't think we sign a striker, and I think it'll be between him and Delap. And I reckon we'll probably we might even get like Grealish. You know what I mean? But I don't think we'll get like a fake. Maybe it's a good sign because I think that probably means that they'll go for like a Haaland next season. You know what I mean? But yeah, I could see him doing that. If not, he seems like he's quite versatile. So we'll have to just see what happens.
I love to Mimi as well here. She says, quickly passing through to leave a like and show love to my girl, Yana, my babes, flawless. Love to my babes, love to my queen, Mimi, every single time. Nothing but love. Hey, you lot, make sure you get the likes up as well because the likes are way too low. Share, let's get more numbers in here and subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Sorry, my connection just went. But yeah, you lot share across the socials and subscribe to the channel as well. If you are new, make sure you hit the notification bell. MB says, flawless. Someone said Kane is as lethal as your goal. Ronaldo in front of goal thoughts. Why did you say my goal? Like, I don't like how you said that, MB. I don't like the tone within that was typed first and foremost. Secondly, yeah, I didn't like this hella Saki and that. You know what I'm saying? Like your goal. I know how he said that. Large up NB though. In what sense did they say? Because Kane is lethal in front of goal, like because he's a goal scorer. Like that can't be that. Just look at his goal scoring record, and that tells you all you need to know. As lethal as Ronaldo, I don't know because Ronaldo scores so many goals. So it's kind of like when I say Kane is as lethal as Ronaldo, no, but that's not a shot at Kane because I rate Kane highly. I do.
I love Kane. Kane needs to step up in the big games though for his club.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You have been saying that for the longest. And then look, here he is. Here's the Harry Kane. Wait, here's the Harry Kane fan club in the comments. This guy's got his top off with his Union Jack shorts on. It says Harry Kane, my captain, my leader, my legend, the GOAT.
Till he joins Man City and then
overrated fraud. Yeah, facts. Yeah. 100%. When he joins,
and I don't even rate him. He's not even that good. Suarez.
Yeah, when he joins Manchester City, he's just the overrated Danny Ings as soon as he joins. I got my slander names in advance in it. Yeah, go on, Eleanor.
The only thing is with Kane, it's like everyone will talk about, you don't get, he needs to leave the club to win things. He needs to do this, he needs to do that. Right, talk about the 4 finals that you've played and not scored in one of them. Talk about the fact that you can't compare when Bale left and went to Real Madrid and say he had to do that to win things. The club was in a very different place when Bale left. Very different place. You got to be fair on both accounts. Like, yes, Kane is obviously more likely going to win at City, obviously. But don't talk like you haven't had the chance. Bale didn't have the chance at Tottenham. It's a very different story. When he had to leave. You didn't have to leave. You could have been a Champions League winner. You could have been a league winner. Yeah. You could have won you could have won if you won those FA Cup semi-finals that you got to. You could have won if you scored in that League Cup final. Like, stop. Yeah. Don't talk like you haven't had the chance. That's the only thing that annoys me with the whole Kane thing. You don't have to leave to win. Because
that's to be honest, that's what I've been saying, and people have been getting onto me because I was saying like he has had. Okay, fair enough. There has been some things that have gone against him. Like, I think he was injured in the Champions League one a little bit. Yeah. There has been some stuff, but then it's like, at the end of the day, this is where your sort of world-class players are supposed to step up and win you the game. Because, I don't know, like, even not world-class players, like, we've seen players like Tielemans, right, who is a very, very good player. He won Leicester a trophy against Chelsea. Because it was the only goal of the game, so we've seen it happen before, and I think Harry Kane is too good to have that sort of excuse made. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, he shouldn't be winning it. Yeah.
This is the thing. We all know he's a brilliant player. Like I've said, if we can have Kane on the end of Kane's passes, be phenomenal. Yeah. Like if we could just clone him, it would be great. But, it's obviously impossible. But like I just feel like there's no consistency in the same energy. You can't just say, well, feel sorry for Kane. He's gonna have to leave to win. No, be honest about where the club is at this point in time. Yes, we're not where we were when Poch was here in the Champions League finals, but you have had the chance. You need to now realise that you could have stepped up. And yeah, Champions League, you ruled yourself fit. Like, bro, you said you're fit. Like,
bro,
don't say you're fit if you're not fit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Yes, like, fully get what you're saying.
You're saying you're fit. You can play. But you played that game. You didn't do anything. But this is no slander because I do realise that as Tottenham, everyone's saying you need to emulate the Leicester model. You need to emulate the Liverpool model when they sold Coutinho and do the rebuild. Do I trust these owners with a rebuild? I barely trust these owners with 50p. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not gonna trust these owners to rebuild that properly. So I do believe we'll be in a much worse place without Kane. And I'm not trying to slander him too much, but I'm not gonna deny the fact that he's made mistakes. He's had chances at Tottenham. He could have been that legend at Tottenham. And we, like you say, we've seen Tielemans win Leicester a trophy. Don't make out you can't just step up when there is time. I love him, but there is times you could have done it. You could have done more.
Peak. Yeah, I didn't know he was 0-4 in finals. This guy moving like certain people's goats, but we move. Go on, Yancy. What are you going to say?
You know what, though? It's interesting because I was looking at the stats for that Liverpool, Champions League final, because I watched the Champions League final at a family party. So I wasn't really paying too much attention. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't really watching it.
We shouldn't talk about this day without like a warning.
Yeah, man, come on. You got to treat the guests right. What's wrong with you? Treat our special guests, you know what I'm saying? You welcome her into the family. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, man? This is out of order. I don't care, innit? You can't be doing them things. Go on.
I was looking at the stats and like Tottenham had like more shots. Like they were actually, if you look statistically, and I think Liverpool weren't at their best. So I think that was a bit of a missed opportunity. I know he was injured, so I'm not going to blame Kane for that. Plus, it's a Champions League final, and we know that they're not easy to win, especially when you've not won it before. So I'm not saying that, he should have won it, but that was an opportunity because Liverpool weren't at their best in that game. You know what I mean? I think when we played Chelsea, I think Chelsea were really good. We were awful, though. We were awful. We didn't deserve to win that game in any way, shape, or form, but I think the way Spurs played, they were better than City were, if you know what I mean, in that final. So,
this is the thing. We needed Liverpool to have a bad game that game, and we needed to be on top form. And obviously, 30 seconds in, you give away a penalty. That's going to destroy the whole plan. But at that point, you also realise that we did have more shots, and we did have all of this. And the kick, Eriksen's free kick that just didn't go in, and Alisson being on top form in that second half. But like I've said, yes, you can't blame solely on Kane. I get that, but there is that status, there is that fine line between when are you world class and when are you elite, because those elite players can do things on their own. And yes, you're not the player to get a ball and run down the pitch like Bale and do it all on your own. I get that, but you've got to do something in these games. And our biggest game player is actually probably Dele Alli, which is, if you look at the big games,
not Son. Dele Alli.
Son is too inconsistent. Son has these purple patches where then he drops off, and I love Son. I'm trying to say, but he does do that. He has a few good games and then he drops off. But Dele Alli, funnily enough, if you look back on who broke our Chelsea drought, who broke our City, even playing against City, Dele's always that guy. And obviously he's dropped off now as general, but that just shows how little our two best players actually step up when it's needed. Our two best players are Kane and Son, and they're not our biggest game players.
Right.
And it's
because I think in that Champions League, like Moura, I do not understand why Moura didn't start, because he was the reason why you got into that final in the first place. So for me, it didn't make much sense. Like if you're going to
I don't take Poch slander on this. I don't take Poch slander.
Yeah, I'm trying it, you know.
I'm not slandering him. I'm just saying that it's weird how he didn't play, but you know, I think it's just one of them. I wouldn't expect you to win the Champions League final, so it's not something that I look at Spurs and think. But there have been other chances. Like I think, honestly, in the League Cup this season, Man City didn't really get out of second gear. It was kind of like the game was like 0-0 late on. And I was like, this is a smash and grab. I was like, I can just see Tottenham getting a goal, 1-0, you know, and it's just like it didn't come. And I just think it's different for City because like these players, they've won it 3 times back to back to back. Like if they didn't win it, they'd be gutted because they lost the final, but they're not going to be gutted like they were when they lost the Champions League final. So it's kind of like
different. Mm-hmm.
I think Spurs in that situation, like you're the team that needs to go for it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just I think he's had his chances. I'm not going to put a lot of the blame on him, but I do get what you mean because like when Kane plays against City, it's Son that causes us all the problems. Like it's not Kane, you know. So people are saying, oh, if Kane leaves Spurs, like City will have more of a chance, but it's like it's Son that mashes up City. Like Kane, I don't think Kane scored in 6 years against City.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I just wanted to get to this one. Yeah, go on, Eleanor. Go on.
The Poch thing because I can't let people on the Poch slander. Now,
let's go.
I just want to say, to me, I get it. Like Mora did get us to the Champions League final.
Yeah.
He's also very, very inconsistent. And I just feel like, in general, if your best player at the club is telling you they're fit and you realize how many goals he scores a season, it's not that mad to play your best player in a Champions League final when you've never got there before. So I do understand, but he could have just played them both and just gone all out.
That's what I mean. I wouldn't have not played Kane. I would have started Kane and Mora. But it's not even slander because I love Pep and Pep didn't play Fernandinho, which cost us the Champions League final. So it's just a bad decision by the manager.
So you can casually say that. When you get the one time on Poch, they hold it for you forever.
Nah, facts. And I just wanted to get to this from Taha because he said, "Is nobody going to talk about Sterling's diving lessons because that was never a pen." So let's get off the whole dividing whether it was a penalty or not. Sterling is not the first player to dive for a penalty. You know what I'm saying? Never in a million years he's the first player to dive for a penalty. So why are we going at him? You know what I'm saying? Why? Unless you vilify every player who dives across the whole sport and bring this energy. Why are we bringing this to Sterling? Bear in mind, he was England's best attacking player on the pitch. Why is it an issue? Because it's Sterling. This is what I don't like about Sterling slander. And I'm a United man. I can't stand Manchester City. But this is the type of thing that's wrong. What? Okay, so let's say he dived. Cool. I'm not even disputing that. What's the difference from him diving and other players diving and that? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? And if you're an England fan on top of that, you should care less. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, that's on the defenders going in on him. And that's clever play. We talk about IQ and the dark arts and all these type of things because that's what we'll say about Italy with defending. When we praise Chiellini and Bonucci and the whole Italian system and we say, oh, they know the dark arts. Well, what Sterling's done there is smart. People say he doesn't have IQ, but yet he always manages to be in the correct position to tap the ball in. Why in 3 different games, this guy's been in the exact same position to score? That's intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Kane can't do it.
He doesn't go down there and you don't get the pen. Like you'd be screaming at your striker or your forward. Like I'd be like, go down. Like, what are you doing? Like you've got to go down to get this pen. Like you've got to.
Well,
and I just feel like, we're acting like, oh yeah, diving's not part of the game. It is part of the game. And, you know, if everyone talks about, you know, you've got to play ugly to win, as everyone else says, then do it. Then actually do it. Because end of the day, you do that. You do everything you can to get that.
To win.
That
decision,
to win.
Dark arts, IQ, all that type of stuff,
IQ,
people.
All that. Oh, you've got such good IQ. Oh, look, he's playing the game well. I love how mean he is. I love how mean he is in the game. And then when they do it, you're moaning. So don't moan because you would moan if he didn't go down.
Well, people just trying to get out Sterling. That's what it is. Go on.
This is why I always say, like, because Sterling's had a poor season. It's not as bad as everyone's making out. Like he scored. Like if you think about it, take Chelsea for example. Chelsea's highest scorer was Jorginho with 7 goals, which were all penalties. Sterling got 9 goals this season. So people acting like he was absolutely shocking. You know, it's not actually the case. He was very poor in the beginning, I'm not going to lie, and he was very poor at the end. But there was a period in between where Man City went 21 games unbeaten, and he was scoring goals consistently in them games. He scored a goal at Anfield, I think. He scored both the only goals against home and away against Arsenal. So it's like both of them games were 1-0 and it was Sterling. You know what I mean? So he hasn't had as poor a season as everyone likes to make out. He has been decent in spells, you know what I mean? But towards the end, he was shocking. And at the beginning, he was pretty shocking. So it's fair criticism to say he had a poor season. I'm not going to pretend he didn't. But what annoys me is other players will have a season like Sterling and they're not slandered the way he gets slandered. And it's just like, this is why I'm constantly defending Sterling. Like, everyone thinks Sterling is my favourite player. He's actually not. I just have to protect him because people just come at him for every little thing. And, you know, even things like when I've said, like, Sterling's the player of the tournament for England, you're getting people arguing against that. Oh, well, no, it hasn't. It's been this player that's played like 3 games. And I'm just thinking, like, it's clear. It's not even a debate. It's clear that he has been the best player. Like, it's not up for a debate. Like, I don't mind having debates about who's been better between Maguire and Stones. And I don't mind them sort of arguments, Shaw and Walker, whatever. Like, that's fine. But it's like, with him, it's not a debate. But people are still trying to bring him down. And it annoys me. It annoys me because
just sorry to cut you off. Anyone chatting in nonsense in the comments will be blocked in it. Keep it clean in the comments, no personals, people. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, Jan, go on.
No, it's all right. It's just, it just annoys me because I feel like I have to defend him. And then you get on top of that, you get all the haters, which hate him for whatever reason. Some of them are like Liverpool fans who just hate him for leaving.
He left. He left. It happens. Xavi Alonso left to go to Real Madrid. Mascherano left to go Barcelona. Suarez left to go Barcelona. Steven Gerrard tried to leave twice. I'm saying your captain, fantastic, tried to leave twice. Like, players leave football clubs. Get over it. I see Cristiano Ronaldo. Get over it.
But it's not even like Sterling came up through their academy and then left. Like, he was at QPR. He came to Liverpool for like 3 years, left. And then they were all getting onto him. So the thing is, just for me, like, people have their reasons for hating him, but it's just like you also get like all these sort of people that have ulterior motives, and sometimes a lot of it is racism. And this is why I'm always defending Sterling. Yeah, it's like always greedy. This is that. How is he greedier than any other player? Like, he's never been demanding the highest wages. You know what I mean?
I don't think
never been like that. So it doesn't make sense to me. Yes, he got a big money deal, but why? Because he was one of the best players in the country at his age and he's English. If he was Jamaican, as in was Jamaican and he played for Jamaica and stuff, he wouldn't have cost £50 million. He would have cost like 20, you know? So it's English tax. That's why you're getting quoted 50 million for Ben White and stuff. Like, this is English tax. Do you know what I mean? So we know that.
Would get that sort of quote. Like, do you know what I mean?
Exactly. So the thing is, I don't think someone has said apparently he's leaving. He's not leaving. He is Pep's favourite player. Pep doesn't love anyone more than Sterling. And
it makes sense why.
This is what you're saying. This IQ thing, Pep really values that. And and I can't lie, Sterling is one of the most intelligent players in the Premier League. Hands down.
This guy scores the same goal over and over again, and you can't stop it. That's intelligent. I'm tired of seeing this guy at the back post constantly tapping it, and people can say, tapping merchant. So if it's that easy, how come every attacker's not doing that? There's a reason for that.
Or,
you know what I'm saying? This guy
saying he misses one-on-ones.
Everyone misses one-on-ones though.
Yeah, but the thing is, he gets himself into them one-on-one situations. Not every player does that.
No, not every player does that though. That's the thing is, and he missed one today. But if you're getting in the positions again, you're doing something right. Because if it was that easy, Kane would have been
getting those positions. Kane can't keep up to get in those positions every
time. This is my point.
The reason why he's there is because he's got the pace to get there. Like I said, Tim played 120 minutes, and he's running that pitch still like, you know, he was shot firing pace down that whole pitch at the end of extra time. Like that is that is a valuable player. And yeah, like I agree. The ulterior motives with the whole Sterling thing.
Yeah, man, we know that this way, and that's again, that's why I defend him so heavily, because I'm seeing it, and because I'm not watching from a hating position of being a United fan, I'm watching City and just watching it in the international tournament. I'm like, why is he receiving the most criticism and he's not the worst player? If he was the worst player at the tournament and was receiving the most criticism, it makes sense. He scored England's only goals in the group stages. He scored the first goal against Germany. He was involved, I think, in 2 out of the 4. Yeah, in the final. He's the Danish centre back doesn't score that own goal if Sterling's not there. He just clears it. So he's like, he's adding value. People.
When I was always in own goals, like, well, he was there anyway. Like he would have, like he was there anyway, so he would have scored it anyway. So like,
he would have scored it anyway. Again, he's been popping up for however long he's been at City at the back post, and if it was that easy to defend against and stop, people would stop it. But he's not only doing it in Pep's system, we're now seeing it in the tournament on the biggest stage. He's delivering for England. He's delivering. Like I say, the pass he played through to Kane for the first goal against Ukraine is a quality pass. That's I didn't even know he could do that. I didn't know he could pass like that. No idea, because I've never seen it before.
They've got
this is my point. My point. I just wanted to get onto this from. Yeah, go on.
It's all because of, you know, he makes it clear where he's from, and you know some people can't handle that. So I have to big up Sterling, and I always will, always.
100%. And MB saying flawless. I clocked on that to that dig certain people's goats. Wallad's gonna be Wallad. How was it a shot? Eleanor told me, that Kane is 0-4. Say that again. What was that?
Are you blaming Eleanor?
No. I'm not blaming Eleanor. Can you let me land? You know what I'm saying? See how she tries to divide and conquer, Eleanor. Clock the pattern after she reminded you about the Champions League final within 5 minutes and slandered Pops. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying in it.
I was at the ground. Like, what?
Yeah, I'm just saying. So yeah, the reason why I said that, because Eleanor told me as she was talking about Harry Kane, about him being 0-4 in finals for Spurs. So then I said, like, certain people's goals, and it's your goal, is 0-4 in finals, not in terms of goal scoring, but winning as well. So he's like Harry Kane. So I was just making a comparison, that's all. But the goal we're talking about, he does play in the Copa America final. So hopefully, I hope he wins it. I want him to win it. So he's 1-5 in it. He can't bow out. You get what I'm saying, without winning an international trophy. It doesn't feel right. So I genuinely want him to win it in it. And he can win it on Brazilian soil as well. I'm saying, so he can step up. That's what I'm hoping to see. But yeah, there will be a Copa America watch-along final, people. Brazil, Argentina, we will bring that to you. Continue to get your questions in as well. Any sport, past or present, people. What questions we got? You lot just talking with it amongst yourselves. Where are we at? That's this. Here we go. Flawless, do you think Ollie will set up tactically the right way to ensure that Sancho can be at his maximum best? MB, why are you asking me questions you know the answer to, and I know the answer? Look at these two busting up. You know what I'm saying? You know the answer to that.
You know what? I think he will. I think he will.
Look at this trolling. You know what I'm saying?
Treble winning Man United 2022.
Yeah, and then he turns off Football Manager. Yeah. Then he turns off Football Manager. But yes, to answer your question, no. We're on a vibes thing. What does Tox always say about Manchester United? We are cardio and vibes. That's what we're there for. I'm gassed we got Sancho, because we are individual brilliance FC. So all we can do is add individual brilliance and just entertain me. I just want to we get to now see Sancho with Pogba and Rashford and Bruno and Martial and all these ballers.
I just want to be entertained. It's literally
just want to be. We're in the same boat. That's why we're out here struggling. Definitely.
Billy says his IQ ain't one of the best in the league. Acting as if Pep never influences runs that he makes. I rate Sterling because he's really good, but I can't overrate him.
Let me get to this before you go. I just want to say one thing. Pep can teach him, but then he still has to take he still has to take the information on board and apply it. And secondly, and Sterling was a baller before he went there. He was highly sought after, and if I remember correctly, he was winning awards when he was a youngster as well. Yeah, it's not like Sterling was some bum, you get me, or some scrub, and then he went to Manchester City. He was good at Liverpool. And he was good before then. Sorry to cut. I just had to get to that because we act like he went City and he got plucked out of nowhere. Go on.
But this is the thing, though. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's Sterling is not the best player. We know that. He has his, he does have his weaknesses. Like, I would say his one-on-one finishing, he needs to improve on that. But the thing is, the reason why I say IQ is because he consistently is in the right place at the right time. Whether he finishes his chances or not, that's where the debate can come in. Is he good enough? Is he, one of the best? Is he overrated? Is he not overrated? But when it comes to IQ is all about what your brain does and where you arrive in the box. That's what that's about. And he has that, and he does that consistently, whether he scores or not. Even when Sterling has a poor game, he's still arriving in the box. He's still making runs. He's still doing this, that, and the other. So that's to do with IQ. But I know we've spoke about it a lot of the time, but when it's like journalism in this country, they don't like to say, and what a lot of football fans do is subconsciously, they listen to the media and then they come out with the same views that the media have without even knowing. So they will come out with things and they'll be like, oh, I think this. And then you think, oh, how come you think that? And when they really strip it back, they've got it from the media. So if you spread a lie, like if you spread a rumor and it gets to people take that as fact. You know what I mean? We've seen it with a lot of footballers. And I know with the British press in particular, they don't like saying that black players have IQ. It's all about pace and power. And we've seen it with Yaya Toure, Paul Pogba,
PMP.
all of this. Like we see it all the time.
Look at Liverpool with Mane. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. And I use Liverpool as an example. It's always pace and power. And Ndombele with Spurs and technically one of the best ballers. Just technically, people. I'm not saying he's one of the best ballers overall. I'm saying technically he's fire. But they'll just talk about him being big, strong. Musa Dembele when he was at Spurs, for instance. Rashford, or he's just quick. You know what I'm saying? Martial, or
it's about Dembele's ballerina feet, or as
his ballerina feet. That's fine.
He did, and it was like no one ever spoke about that. How he's so light, because he is light. He wasn't a big, powerful player. Wanyama. All you know about Wanyama is that he was this powerful DM.
Yeah.
But no one. They didn't speak about his actual ability to score those long shots that we saw against Liverpool at Anfield. Like no one speaks about it because it is 100% right. That's what the media subconsciously do. They do that. They don't talk about their individual game. Put them all together. Kante, all of
Kante can play out. Kante is pace and power. Him covering the ground. Him tackling. That's what it is.
The workhorse they call him.
Yes, workhorse. Yes, work rate. Yes, it's always that. Van Dijk. Oh, he's big. He's strong. He's quick.
It's like, for me, it's like I will like come at Pogba, right? But I don't come at him from the sort of, so for a lot of people, they'll say like, oh yeah, Pogba, he's got a bad attitude. He's got this, he's got that. We don't know that. We've been told that by the media. I don't know Paul Pogba. From what I know,
what's the crazy part is every club he's been at, all his teammates, Manchester United, Juventus, all his international teammates, no one has one bad word to say about him apart from Mourinho, who could fall out with himself in an empty room. No one says anything. None of the club staff, tea ladies, he's all a nice guy. Everyone says nice guy, lovely guy.
It's this bad attitude, and people run with it. Like you hear it now. Like even Jadon Sancho's had quite a few, which I don't know for Jadon Sancho because I don't know him either. I know Man City had some problems with him, so I know he's not completely innocent because I know he turned his phone off and refused to turn up for training. So I know he's done that before. But in general, we don't know him. So if you see, like every argument I have for Pogba is always about what he is doing on the pitch. Or
you talk about Paul Pogba, the footballer, which is what I love. Talk about Paul Pogba, the footballer.
His character, what his hair like. I don't care. That's not what I'm here for. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, this is what it's like with Sterling. Like, I just, as a footballer, if you're saying to me he's not great at one-on-ones, I'm not going to argue you down on that because I agree. When it comes to having IQ, stuff like that, he does. Like, I'm not going to have an argument about something that is very present. And we've seen it all through this tournament, how clever he is. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say he's the best player ever because he isn't, but I just think people get onto him a bit too much and it's like, oh, he's overrated, he's this, he's that. But all these people that are saying he's overrated don't rate him. So how can you be overrated if all of these people don't rate him? You know what I mean? I
think, what it is with the, sorry to cut you off, Eleanor, what it is with the Pogba thing, like you with Sterling, that's me with Pogba. I have to double down defending him because the criticism of him is over the top. I've said this before. Has Pogba has he helped himself on the pitch at times? Absolutely not. But he is in the worst possible predicament. He's playing out of position. in a team that's not consistent, with a manager that's not good enough, with a board that's nonsense, and the owners and the fans are 50-50 on the manager and all these type of things. And if you look at his, I say this all the time, how he played for France in his tournament for the majority is not too dissimilar to his performances for Manchester United. The difference is he has better players around him. That's what it is. The passes, he plays them passes for us all the time. That's a regular thing. Like when he played out wide on the left, he's a quality baller. But people are going to get onto him. Even if he was at 10, we still wouldn't have won anything. Even if he was at his best of his best, because the team around him is nowhere good enough. It's not. The manager's not good enough. But people, that's why I have to double down. When people start talking about his hair and having a bad attitude, do you know him? So how do we know he has a bad attitude? Did someone come out and say he has a bad attitude? Like, where's this come from?
That's what I mean about the meat people. So like, they don't even realize they're doing it. Like, they'll come out and say something and you'll be like, well, where have you got that from? Because, you know, like, you get it with City fans and Sterling. Oh, well, Sterling's demanding this amount of money per week. Who said that? Has Sterling said, I'm demanding this money? Has Man City come out and said he's demanded this? No, they haven't. The media have said Sterling is demanding to be the highest paid paid player at City, and you've run with it. But the thing is with Sterling is our second highest.
You know what the thing is, though?
And
there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. If he wanted, sorry to cut you off, if he was demanding to be City's highest player, what you can demand what you want. You might not get it, but why is that issue trying to demand that? I want to be the highest paid. That's Sterling's right. If De Bruyne wants to say that, Eric Garcia could say that for all he wanted. He wouldn't get it. If Eric Garcia turned around and said, "Yo, I want to be the highest," that's his right. Why is that? Yeah, why is that? Why is that an issue? I don't understand why that is an issue. His contract negotiation. Go on, Eleanor.
I just want to say on the whole, like we're talking about the media and like the media influence on different players. What I was just going to say was, funnily enough, Paul Pogba was absolutely demolished because he argued with Mourinho. But what about Luke Shaw? Luke Shaw wasn't. Luke Shaw was absolutely hated, and he wasn't demolished. Again, same thing with Dele Alli and someone like Toby Alderweireld. Toby Alderweireld's situation has gone totally under the radar, whereas Dele Alli's got a bad attitude. Dele Alli's got games. Dele Alli's got a bad attitude. But you know, no one else. Like it's just it's so blatant sometimes.
It is blatant.
It's hella blatant.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, the fact that Luke Shaw was he's a kid and it's you know he's struggled, whereas Paul Pogba was the worst specimen to touch the grass. It was just like, you know, it was just really annoying. That all I was gonna say was that it's pretty clear. Like
nonsense. MB here says, Eleanor, I think that Højbjerg is decent, but do you play? Do you think he needs to come out of his shell more? Yeah, that's what he's saying. You lot trying to set me up and make it look like I can't read. But do you think he needs to come out of his shell more, as I feel he plays within himself a lot? Your thoughts on this?
Do you know what? I like Højbjerg. I feel like as Spurs fans, we have overrated him. I feel like that's natural, considering we didn't have a DM, considering that he's not like a proper natural DM, but he has been playing there. But yeah, we didn't have one and we needed one, and he's been very, very like consistent in that aspect. But I feel like he's just tired. He didn't get a break. He played nearly every one of our games, like more than all our players. I'm pretty sure him and Lloris were our most played players. And obviously, you know, as a goalkeeper, you're not doing the same amount of running as the DM. But I just think he's tired, and he just needs a break. I think so, and I think with the amount of pressure he was under in the tactics we were playing last season, he just needs a bit of a break and to have a bit more free flowing in his game, because he was literally told last season to be the tidy up player, which is what we signed him for. Be a tidy up player and just, you know, get the balls and pass them, get them, intercept and pass. Whereas if he played with a bit more freedom, he could push further up more. He could come out of his shell, actually try something. But every player that tried something under Mourinho was shunned out the team. You couldn't try anything fancy because, you know, that's not what you want. We want simple, basics, dirty football, and that's what he was signed for. So yeah, I think he just. I'm like I said in the last time I came here, I've applied Jose tax to all my players, so they've all got a clean slate. Even
Jose tax is hefty.
Honestly,
it's hefty, very hefty.
That's a hefty tax. So I'm giving him all a clean slate, and I think he did very well under Jose. I just think he was overused. So even now today, you didn't see him do much. I just think he just needs to be chill and just have a coach and a team around him that is good enough to allow him to play a bit more free flowing. But I do think he's great as a player.
Yeah, every time I've seen him play for you, like he's looked impressive. Of course, I've not watched Spurs as closely as you do, but he does look impressive. I'm like, yeah, he looks like a decent player. And this is the Q&A. People continue to get your questions in, and like I said, they don't have to be the Euros related. They don't have to be Spurs, City, or United related. Any sport. You hear me, past or present, ask questions. Also, like I said, if you see the same names popping up, it's because members, if you're a member of the channel, your comment question will take priority like a super chat. Also, as well, as part of the membership, you get shout outs to the staff. You get the shout outs during certain shows in it. So let me large up all the members. This list is getting longer and longer, but love to all of you lot. So big up Gil, VJ, Eddie, give it to Mikey, Slens Talks, 44, NB, The Progressions Project, YG Jez, Dan, Sasha, Davey Fisher, Nelly, Timo, Scott, Cams TV, Daniel, Junior Swag King, Taekwon, Nippin, Wayne, SH, 40 Fantasy, OKW, Deviant, J Socials, Eugene, Neville B, S Feetly TV, Winter Surfer, Ryan, wherever he is with his top off, you get me celebrating England getting to the final, and Yan City is a member as well. That list is getting longer and longer. But yeah, large up every one of you lot in the chat and everyone who's a member also. Someone asked me. Go on, you get to something. Go on.
I have to say, Nate,
you know Nate the way you said that? I have to say Nate. All right, I thought you knew the way you said that.
Nate.
You have to say Nate.
Spaniel, whatever you know it.
Hey, put some respect on his name and that, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know which one it is. It could be Nathan.
Yeah, could ask him, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is. I apologize, Nate. You might want to be called Nate. Your name might be Nate and she just being disrespectful.
So Nate, he was very, very, very good in that penalty shootout. He saved 3 penalties. It wasn't a case of they missed. He actually saved them.
Very good.
He was very good. He was good in that game, but he was very, very good in that penalty shootout. So yeah, I just wanted to get to that. Give him the credit. I don't know if he got man of the match, but he should have got it.
Yeah, he was good in the shootout. And the whole thing with Yerry Mina and Messi shouting at Yerry Mina, like, yeah, you're going to dance now. It's funny. Love that type of shit. I just like seeing beef. I'm for chaos. When it's not my team, I'm all for the drama and the chaos in it. Players go back and forth. I love all that type of stuff. 100%. 100%. Taha, of course, man. Like, we only have the best here. Of course. Read out the comment and then, yeah, I'll let you read it out since it's to you.
He says, Jan City, I'm very impressed with your football knowledge. You know what? That is the best compliment you could ever give me, I think.
There you go.
But yeah, George, I don't know if you say it like Jorge, because it's Spanish. Jorge Luis Fralo Filo. CFC.
Pull up the comment.
I think it's said like Jorge.
I'm just going to call him George Lewis. You hear me? Fred.
Oh, George. I think it's Jorge.
I'm joking.
He said Saka had the cheek to buy him and his mom a new house before the Euros. Why is that even in the news? We've seen this before. We spoke about it before with Tosin, who played for Fulham, the centre-back, and Phil Foden. They both bought a house around the same time. Both played for Man City's academy. Both hadn't really broken into the first team officially. They were in the first team. But, it's Jorginho's real name. Okay, fair enough. So, yeah. Actually, if he's Brazilian, so it won't be Jorge.
Keep going, one sec.
I don't know how to say it in Portuguese, but in Spanish it is like that. But yeah, he basically, the story about Tosin was how is this guy buying a house for his worth 2 million when he's only had one start for Man City? And then when it was Phil Foden, it was like this nice story about how Phil Foden bought his mum and dad a house and all this stuff. And it's just exactly the same situation. So there's none of that club bias.
Guys, I got to go. I've got to go because I've got work in the morning.
Fair.
So yeah, I'm gonna head because I've got work in the morning.
Okay.
I will be.
Thanks for coming on.
That's all right. Thanks for having me. I'll be around anyway. I'll be around a lot on here. So you'll see me. I'll just jump on. I'll just get the links and jump on whenever.
Yeah, no, that's no problem.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Eleanor's going.
Bless up, Eleanor. Yeah, go on, fam.
But yeah, no, I was just saying about how, Phil Foden, when he bought a house with his mum and dad, it was, he's bought his mum and dad a house. And then when it was Tosin, it was like, why is this guy that's not started any games for Man City, bought a house. But it's like, in reality, let's be honest now. If you go and get a good job in this country, like a good job, right, is probably like £50,000 a year, right?
That's say 50 mil a year. What are you doing for 50 mil a year?
That's like a great salary, right? A really poor footballer is on like 10k a week, maybe. If you're a youth player, you might be on £5,000 a week. You might even be on £2,000 a week. But if you think of it, the amount of money that he's getting, most people get in like a whole month, if not, more than a month. You know what I mean? So if he wants to go and buy a house for £2 million, that is like you buying a house for 250 grand, which, let's be honest, if you bought a house, that's about the price that you would have to pay for a house. So
is that the price of houses these days? Mad.
Yeah. So, well, it's more than that, really. But like, if you want to get a house, you probably would be in an exact similar situation to Tosin, right? Who is a footballer, because buying a £2 million house. So when they come with this, why is he buying this big house? That's within his means based on his salary. You know what I mean? Otherwise, he wouldn't get it. So it's just like, and if worst case scenario, say for example, his career ends, he either falls off a cliff, literally, or it's like he gets an injury. What you forget is that he can sell that house. He can sell that £2 million house, take the money that he put into it, and then go and buy a smaller house. He can do that. You know what I mean? So for me, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't know why they're so interested in what footballers do in their private lives. Like, if it's not affecting their football, why are you commenting on it? And what annoys me is when they do good things, you hardly hear about it. But when it's like something negative, or it's not even negative, it's buying a house, you know what I mean? It's in the papers. Like, I remember they tried to turn Sterling buying his mum into a house into a negative thing. It's like, how is that a negative thing? Like, how are you twisting a man buying his mother a house as a bad thing?
Aegis, that's why.
No sense. Because anyone that gets rich, if you ask people, why would you want to be rich? It would probably be, so I can buy my mum a house, so I can buy my kids this. Do you know what I mean? That's what normal people do. So, yeah, it's bizarre. The newspapers are bizarre. They're constantly getting onto these players. And that's why, like, I will criticize footballers for their football, but I don't really, unless I know them personally and they're not nice people, or I know someone that knows them and they're not nice people, I'm not coming for them as a character, because you just don't know what they're like. And the media just push these narratives constantly. And someone mentioned it before, like, there's certain players, ex-players, that will talk about Pogba, and it just makes people dislike him for an unknown reason. Like, I understand in terms of football, he hasn't done what he went to Man United to do. He wasn't brought in to go trophyless, you know what I mean, for like 4 years. He wasn't brought in for that. He was brought in to challenge, to win the league, to do this, to do that. So that's why when I criticize Pogba, that's what I'm criticizing him for, because he's not done what he needs to do. There is obviously factors that go into that. We know that.
100%.
But there's factors that go into other players not winning things at other clubs. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. So them sorts of things, that's fine. But when you're coming for their character, to me, it just makes no sense.
Yes, let me get to this one from MB. He says, you lot continue to get questions in. We are going to close out the show shortly. He says, Flawless, do you think Neymar is the last of a dying breed in terms of techie ballers that Brazil are producing? Yes. I think
yes and no. You want to know why I think yes and no?
Well,
I think in that current Brazil team, he is the only techie baller, or one of the only techie ballers, right? But in Brazil, there is still them techie ballers. There still is. They're not as common as they once were, but they're still there. Like that player that City have bought, he's very much like Neymar in how he plays, tricks, flicks, all that kind of stuff. We don't know if that's going to be kind of taken out of him when he comes to England, because apparently he's going straight into Man City's under 23s. Whether that will come out of him, I don't know. But he's still doing that. So I think there's still players But it's not as many as it, Brazil used to be. They all used to be at it. You know what I mean? Now it's kind of like him. Gabby has some, like, he was a bit more techie before he joined City. He was a bit more, when he was playing for Palmeiras, he was a little bit more techie, but I think it's just one of them things. I think it's the game's changing slightly as well. And I think that's why people are less likely to be kind of doing tricks and flicks.
So, I get that to a point. It is dying breed, no, because all it takes is for players to pop up. Because that tricks and flicks thing is like, you don't just get that overnight. Like either you have that or you don't. Can it kind of be drilled out of you? Yes. It can be taken away from you. And can you improve on that and become? But like Neymar is just Neymar. Like when he's 50, he's still going to be playing like that. Like that's just like we see Ronaldinho play now and he's still doing all tricks and flicks. I see in a clip of Zidane playing, like I think he was with his sons.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Zidane. Yeah, and Zidane was still doing the same ish that Zidane was doing. Like, you don't lose that tech. You know what I'm saying? Can you improve it? Yes. Can you get more of it? Yes, and add to it. So, yeah, do I think he's the last of... All it takes is for a few more to come in. Because Neymar is a Brazil icon. So there'll be kids playing in Brazil now who are professionals who look up to him and try and play and be like Neymar. Nippin Air says, who do you think is going to win Copa America?
It better be, man.
Legit 50-50, but Argentina have the better attack. But I think Brazil have the better team.
Yeah.
Brazil have the better team overall. I think defensively they're better. I think their midfield is better. But I think attack is where Argentina happen. Like if we did a split 11, it'd mostly probably be Brazil. You know what I mean? From goalkeeper. So actually with Martinez in it, you got that's a shout. But then after that, it's a mix. That's what I would say. I just seen that, yeah. All right, cool. You know what?
No, all right. It's all right.
You got 5, yeah? You got 5?
Yeah, 3.
You got 3. All right, we'll literally answer this last one and then we'll go then.
So, what player that perhaps under the radar do you expect to kick on next season? I think Ferran Torres will be better in his second season. I think most players are better in their second season. So, yeah, probably Ferran Torres. Man City are actually promoting 2 players. One of them is called Romeo Lavia. And he is a DM, but I think he can play more than one position. But apparently he's the closest thing to Fernandinho that we have. And he won Player of the Season in the under 23s, even though Delap had a great season and scored, I think it was about 6 or 7 more goals than anyone else. So he was the clear top scorer. He broke the record for the most goals scored in the under 23s league. So, yeah, he had a great season, and this guy still won Player of the Season. I don't know too much about him, but apparently he's a good kid. So him, be interesting to see if he plays at all. I don't know if he will. And then we've got Delap coming through as well, who is a clinical goal scorer. Obviously, it is a step to the Premier League, so I don't expect him to play all the time. But yeah, I think it's a case of them two maybe coming up, seeing what they do. But I think Ferran Torres would be the one that's going to kick on. I'm hoping Ruben Diaz gets better in his second season as well. Not that he's been bad, but just because I want him to continue doing what he's been doing. And I think we're going to see Laporte come back to his best because I think he had a good Euros. So, yeah, I think that's what will happen. In terms of David Villa, you know what? It's so funny because David Villa actually joined the City group, but he went to New York City. But yeah, he was a great player. He was a great player. Everyone was like, they thought we were going to get him on loan. You know, like we got Lampard.
Yeah.
And we didn't. So it's just one of them. But yeah. I'm not putting a bet on. I might put a bet on for Brazil to win because I want Argentina to win.
People, please make sure you gamble responsibly, people, and only if you are over the age of 18 or wherever you are. Nippin says, what do you think is a more balanced, more evenly matched final, the Euros or Copa America? I think they're both legit 50-50. I think they're both finely balanced. Like you could edge maybe towards Italy, but there's not much in it. And Brazil, Argentina, again, it's the same. It's 50-50. You might slightly edge towards Brazil because they have the better team. But Yeah, they're both 50-50 to me. What are you saying?
Yeah, I think Italy will edge it, and Brazil will edge it. But you know, it's a final. I think anyone can win a final. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Flawless, your favorite goal at the Euro so far? Or Benzema's first goal against Switzerland? Lord of mercy, different class. The passing from Mbappe wasn't even that good, and the fact he managed to control it into his path but kill it dead. But then he killed it dead, but then it had enough pace in front of him, and then he lobbed the goalkeeper with his wrong foot. Ridiculous. Like, most men are twisting themselves up not scoring that. Like, that's not a chance. The pass from Mbappe wasn't even the best, and he managed to get it into his path and then dink the goalkeeper with his wrong foot. Ridiculous. You hear me? So yeah, that's been my favorite goal. Schick was a banging one as well, but for me, it's definitely. And the Sweden goal against Zinchenko's goal against who did he score? The team move was quality, but for me, it's the Benzema. I think it was his first goal against Switzerland. Yeah, go on, Jan.
Yeah. No, it's just somebody asked Nathan favorite academy player. For me, it's still.
Have you got a favorite goal at the Euros? That's what I want to know.
Favorite what goal at the Euros?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Yeah.
I'd say probably I like Schick's one. I thought that was quality. The angle that he was at and stuff like that. Obviously, I love when Sterling scores, but his goals haven't been like.
Can see connection gone. She'll be back, people. She will be back. Or her laptop might have died. Well, large up everyone who's tuned in. Whether you're watching this live or watching this back right now, please make sure you get the likes up on the video. Share it across all your socials. Or if you don't want to do that, if that's too much work, go to my Twitter at That's Me Flawless and you can retweet and like, and go to my Instagram at That's Me Flawless and you can share it to your socials that way, and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. And make sure when you subscribe, you hit the notification bell. Say this all the time because you do not want to miss the live, people. So make sure you do that. Subscribe to the channel, people. I'll answer the last couple questions from any of you lot. Yeah, Taha saying the same. Flawless, the amount of tech in that goal. Oh my days, it was mad. Still, you whiling with that comment. Benzema's first goal with his drag and left foot dink, wonderful. Yeah, man. Denmark free kick was good, but Pickford should really do better. Scotland conceding from the halfway line, says he, Mr. Jorginho. That is facts. That is facts. Favorite academy player? What? Now, I don't really watch the academy too tough. So that's why I can't answer that. I do not watch the academy too tough. But yeah, man, love to everyone who's supporting. Flawless, do you think United will ever get another class of 92? No, I don't think we will. We'll never get another class of 92. Because getting that amount of players with that amount of talent at the right time, I highly doubt seeing that again. How many players come through your youth system now who cement themselves in the first team? We got Rashford, Greenwood, you could add McTominay. And it's not even like they all came through at the same time. So we're talking to 3 from however many. And he also says, big up Flawless yourself. Flawless still the most hard working done, no matter what, how much Kante tries to clone you. Big up. Yeah, man, love to everyone who's supporting. And make sure, well, I was going to say tomorrow, but technically today now it is. So it's technically today. Make sure you check out all the watch-alongs tomorrow. So we got Man United at 5 p.m. And then we've got the Suns versus the Bucks, game 2 of the NBA Finals. So Phoenix Suns versus the Milwaukee Bucks, game 2. Watch along. Obviously, the Suns are 1-0 up. But you can see all of these shows on the upcoming live stream section anyway. All the shows there on the upcoming live stream section. Love to everyone who is supporting the channel. Big up to each and every one of you. We are going to get that 3K party saluted soon. We are going to bounce people. You know what I'm saying? Love to Eleanor, love to Yan City. The Queen's holding it down. You get me? The Queens of Sarcasm City holding it down. You love to see it. But big up all of you lot. I'll be back here tomorrow, hopefully to see all of you lot too. But yeah, love. This has been the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A on Sarcasm City TV.